Marc Marquez once again left the entire MotoGP paddock in awe after delivering a near-perfect performance at the 2026 German Grand Prix. However, behind his dominant victory at Sachsenring, an unexpected statement came from Trackhouse Aprilia rider Ai Ogura. The Japanese rookie believes that Marquez never actually showed his full potential during the race. Was the king of Sachsenring really holding back his true pace? Let's discuss. The Sachsenring once again belonged to Marc Marquez. The Ducati Lenovo team rider claimed his 10th victory at the legendary German circuit, further cementing his reputation as the undisputed king of Sachsenring. From the moment the lights went out until the checkered flag waved, Marquez was in complete control. He took the lead on the opening lap and never gave his rivals a genuine opportunity to close the gap. There was virtually no pressure throughout the 30-lap race. Marquez controlled the pace with remarkable composure, making it seem as though every moment of the race was unfolding exactly according to his plan. Meanwhile, his closest challengers suffered very different fates. Alex Marquez, who initially tried to match his brother's pace, eventually crashed out. Fabio Di Giannantonio suffered a similar fate after losing control while attempting to maintain the pressure. As a result, Ai Ogura unexpectedly finished in second place, securing one of the best results of his MotoGP career. However, it wasn't just his podium finish that grabbed attention. Instead, it was Ogura's post-race comments that quickly became a major talking point. In a video released by MotoGP from the Parc Fermé after the race, an intriguing exchange between Ai Ogura and Marc Marquez was captured before they stepped onto the podium. Still looking genuinely curious, Ogura asked Marquez a direct question. "Marc, you could actually go even faster, couldn't you?" The question immediately brought a smile to Marquez's face. Rather than giving a straightforward answer, the 8-time world champion simply laughed and responded casually. Marquez went on to explain that every circuit has its own unique characteristics, adding that at Assen it was actually Ai Ogura who had been faster than him. While the response sounded simple enough, it only fueled even more speculation. Many believed Marquez was intentionally avoiding a direct answer about whether he had truly been holding back during the race. Looking back at the race as a whole, Ai Ogura's suspicion actually makes a lot of sense. Throughout the race, Marc Marquez never appeared to be pushing his Ducati to the absolute limit. His gap to Ogura always remained comfortably under control, almost as if he was deliberately managing the pace instead of taking unnecessary risks. Whenever Ogura managed to cut the deficit by a few tenths of a second, Marquez immediately restored his advantage with seemingly effortless ease. What's even more impressive is that he accomplished all of this without aggressive overtakes, without extreme braking, and without any signs that he was riding on the absolute limit of the bike. Instead, Marquez looked incredibly calm and composed throughout the race. He seemed to know exactly when to increase his pace, when to simply manage the rhythm, and when to let his rivals wear out their own tyres, allowing him to comfortably maintain his advantage all the way to the finish line. The mystery finally became much clearer after Marc Marquez explained his strategy following the race. The Ducati rider revealed that he had intentionally avoided pushing the bike to its maximum from the very beginning. His primary objective wasn't to build the biggest possible lead, but to preserve the performance of the front tyre until the closing stages of the race. According to Marquez, if he had pushed too hard during the opening laps, the front tyre would have suffered significant degradation by the time the race entered its decisive final laps. That's why Marquez chose to maintain consistent lap times in the 1:21.4 range for almost the entire race. The strategy proved to be extremely effective. Instead of suffering a drop in performance during the closing laps, Marquez was able to maintain the same pace all the way to the checkered flag. It also explains why he always seemed to have extra speed in reserve whenever his rival started to close the gap, allowing him to secure the victory without taking unnecessary risks. Marquez's victory at Sachsenring once again demonstrated that his advantage goes far beyond pure speed. What truly sets him apart is his exceptional ability to read the race. He understands tyre management, knows exactly when to push, and recognises when it's smarter to simply maintain a comfortable gap to his rivals rather than take unnecessary risks. Those are the qualities of a true world champion. It's not just about being the fastest rider over a single lap, it's about managing an entire race to perfection. This is exactly the kind of approach that has many of his rivals becoming increasingly concerned about facing Marquez in the upcoming rounds. And if he has truly returned to 100% physical fitness, Ducati and Marquez could become even more difficult to stop. After witnessing Marquez's performance at Sachsenring, the entire MotoGP paddock has already shifted its focus to the next round. However, the challenge facing his rivals has clearly become much greater. If Ai Ogura's suspicion is correct, that Marquez was still holding back some of his true pace in Germany, then the threat awaiting his competitors in the coming races could be even more daunting. It also suggests that his dominant Sachsenring victory may not have revealed the full extent of his performance potential this season. While the spotlight remains on Marc Marquez's dominant performance, MotoGP legend Valentino Rossi has also drawn attention after opening up about his feelings toward the sport that made him a global icon. Although he retired from MotoGP several years ago, Rossi admitted that he still deeply misses the atmosphere of racing. The 9-time world champion said that every time he watches a MotoGP race, memories from his racing career immediately come flooding back. He revealed that he still misses the paddock atmosphere, the sound of the prototype machines, the moment the starting lights go out, and the intense battles between riders in every corner. For Rossi, MotoGP was never just a job. It has been a huge part of his life for more than 2 decades. That is why his longing for the racetrack has never truly gone away. Even so, Rossi understands that every athlete has their time. His role has now changed. While he was once the centre of attention as a rider, he now spends much of his time working behind the scenes in the paddock. The Italian legend is focused on developing the VR46 racing team, while mentoring the next generation of riders to compete at the highest level. Through his academy, Rossi continues to produce talented young riders who have become key figures in today's MotoGP championship. In other words, even though he is no longer racing, Rossi's influence on MotoGP remains enormous. His heartfelt admission about missing MotoGP received a warm response from fans around the world. Many said the championship has felt different ever since the iconic number 46 disappeared from the starting grid. Some fans even joked that they would love to see Rossi return as a wild-card entry, even if it were for just one race weekend. Marquez's performance at Sachsenring once again proved that victory is determined not only by outright speed, but also by strategy and the ability to read the race perfectly. If he truly still had untapped performance in reserve, it would be a serious warning sign for his rivals heading into the upcoming rounds. What do you think? Was Marc Marquez really holding back his true pace at Sachsenring, or was he simply executing the perfect race strategy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.